Alyssa, thank you very much for this interview for Azteca TV.
Yeah, of course.
Tell me about, I would like to talk about your life story. Since when, I know that since you were a child, you dream, you have a dream, a special dream. Tell me about it.
Yeah, of course. Ever since I was little, I have always been interested in space and the idea of space travel. I was particularly interested in Mars a little bit as a kid, but growing up, I basically asked questions and wanted to learn more about space. So I started trying to learn as much as I could about it. I started going to space camps when I was 7, started doing research with a citizen science research organization by 15, and now I'm just a university student working my way into the industry.
That's amazing. And I know that you had that dream since you were a child and you are very young, but your father supports you a lot in order to reach this dream. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, of course. So, I mean, I was interested in space, but no one in my family really had any sort of space or science background to really, teach me about space or really tell me too much. So basically, my dad just told me if it's something that I wanted to do, then I could go for it. But he pretty much just helped support me in terms of, going to space camp with me the first few times, traveling with me, supporting me any way that he could, just because he knew that if it was something that I wanted to do, then he was right there to support me. So definitely couldn't be where I am without him.
And you start in NASA. What since when you are in NASA and what you have been doing since then?
Yeah, so I mean, I went to a space camp when I was 7, which is like a NASA space camp, but it's not like working for NASA in any way. And then all of like my actual research has been through an organization called Project Possum, and it's pretty much citizen scientists, so everyday people who come together in their free time and do science and research. So with them, I have been able to do microgravity flights, water survival, G-force, all sorts of kinds of trainings and different experiences. And then also currently I work for Jacobs, which is one of NASA's largest contractors, and I do international space relations.
Yes, like you are now a conferencist. It's related with that?
Yeah, so at Jacobs, I do a lot of amazing things. I help work with space agencies from all over the world and connecting them back to Jacobs and how Jacobs can help work with these different companies.
And this you have to 18 years old?
I'm 20 now.
20. And when you started in NASA, how old were you?
Well, I mean, when I first started going to space camp, I was 7, and then I started doing the research at 15.
Okay. And now I know that you share your story with the people. You do like you are like a public speaker also. What is the main things that you used to share with the others?
Yeah, so I first started speaking mainly just to students and kids. I was talking about just the general space history, what is space, what's happening in space, just to teach kids about what was going on. But I also help kids try to motivate them to follow whatever their own dreams may be, whether that is teaching them a little bit more about the space and science industry so they can pick up their interest in it, or even just ways of going about their own dreams, whether it's related to space or science or not.
Nice. And you also are part of or you are part of the creators of a Mars One program. Can you tell me about it? What is
Yes.
this about, and what do you do there?
Yeah, so Mars One was just a company that was based out of the Netherlands with ideas of going to Mars. So they aren't really active as much anymore. That was back when I was 13. So mainly just supporting a mission to Mars, which now there's a whole bunch of other companies who are also working towards going to Mars, like NASA, SpaceX. So there really has been, a transition of more of an interest in space, but they did do a lot in terms of getting the interest of space out there.
But the main goal is that you want to go to Mars.
Yeah, I've always been interested in space, but Mars specifically. And then also just like the timeline of when I would be an astronaut, it would definitely line up with missions to Mars.
Why Mars?
I really was always fascinated with Mars in the beginning just because of the curiosity of it. Like, no one has been to Mars before, so what's there, kind of thing. And then as I got older, I was always learning more about space and the benefits of space and going to Mars. And so I really just wanted to contribute to the benefits of space in any way that I could. And so I think Mars has a lot to offer in terms of creating new technologies, resources for future generations, things like that. And so I mainly just want to contribute to those missions in any way that I can.
Okay, and it's that truth that you are part of the people that will go in no, I mean you have your pass to go to Mars in 2030.
So yeah, so
Is
I
that
mean
true?
that's the goal. So right now I'm still a university student, so I'm obviously not fully working in any field. I am just a student, and then after I get my graduate degree, I will then apply to the astronaut selection process.
Because I read that you are the youngest women that has that pass. Is that true?
Well, so I'm not like selected, so I won't be selected until after I apply to the selection process, which I can't do until I have a graduate degree.
But but even that you are so very young, you start very young, and I know that a lot of people like you inspire a lot of teenagers or young people. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I absolutely love being able to teach more people about space and then also inspire them to go after their own dreams. I really just want other kids to realize that it doesn't matter what their dream is, that they can definitely go for it, even if it does sound crazy in the beginning. But also teaching kids to mix their interests. You know, there are so many jobs within space. I think most kids think of scientist, engineer, astronaut, but there's so much more. There's spacesuit designers, there's people that make the food, there's rocket engine testers, there's so many other cool jobs that they can go into. And so they can use that as motivation to really find what they want.
Okay, and now you have your suit. I heard that your suit is like now like a brand, your brand, like they say blueberry or something like that.
Yeah,
Can you tell
so
me about your suit?
Yeah, so this is a flight suit. This one is a Stephen H flight suit, actually. But basically, flight suits are pretty popular within astronauts. Astronauts wear flight suits all the time. But I got the call sign Blueberry, which is kind of like a nickname, because of the second time I went to space camp. I basically wanted one of the blue flight suits because I wanted to be an astronaut. And so my dad found basically like a knockoff flight suit, just not the right kind, I guess. And it was a dark shade of blue, and so it looked kind of different from all the others. So they would call me Blueberry, and then I came back to space camp. They continued to call me Blueberry, so it eventually just stuck. So I kept it.
Okay. So when you could apply in the future, will you apply when you finish? Like, how old will you be? No, would you be how old?
Yeah, so when I apply would be after I get my graduate degree. So basically, I am graduating undergrad in 2023, hopefully graduating with a graduate in 2024. So hopefully just whenever the next selection is after that. So the selection processes aren't like they just happen whenever they need more astronauts. So after I have my graduate, I will apply to the next one. So in the next few years, if another one comes up, then I will be applying.
Okay. And after all these years that you have been like studying about the space, about Mars, about all what you want to know when you were a child, right now, which is your point of view about the space and about the other planets that we have around?
Yeah, I mean, space is definitely pretty much the most exciting at the moment. There is so much happening in space right now that it's definitely exciting to see, especially since when I was younger, there were, mainly just space shuttle launches, and that was kind of about it. There's the International Space Station, but now there truly is so much happening. There is a new telescope being launched, hopefully on Christmas Eve. There is the new rocket that will be sending people back to the moon and then on to Mars. The first test launch will be happening at the beginning of next year. So there really is just so much happening. There's space tourism. There is so much advances happening in space. So I think as of right now, it's just really exciting to see how much we're accomplishing.
And yeah, that's the project. But your feeling, your personal feeling about the space.
Yeah, I mean, I think just in general, I'm just excited and really eager to see what comes next. I'm excited to be a part of the industry and continuing to work towards it. But obviously, it will be even more thrilling once I'm fully working in the industry. But as of right now, it's just exciting to see the advances that other people are making.
Exactly. And which are your goals now? Like after you apply, after you graduate, which one are your goals for the future?
Yeah, so right now, so basically what I'm studying is astrobiology, which is pretty much just science in space. So I went to start working more in areas specific to astrobiology. So that's kind of one of my close goals. So I am hopefully moving into a lab that will lead me into doing astrobiology research. So that is exciting. But yeah, just really continue through school, graduate obviously is a goal, and just continue to work more within astrobiology and obviously apply and yeah, just really start working in the industry. I'm definitely really close to that point. So excited to see where I end up.
And you are not scared? Sometimes you don't feel like scared or with the risk that is go to the space or
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that where we are in space has gotten a lot safer than it used to be. It's super crazy. We do so many launches now, and they have all been going so well. We have made so many more advances in terms of safety of space. But really, for me, I think I've learned about the risk of space for so long that they feel very normal. But also at the same time, meeting the people who work in the space industry, you see how passionate they are about what they're doing, and so you definitely feel like you're in good hands because there are these people who work every single day thinking about your safety.
I know. And when you graduate, which one is a title that will you have?
Um, I
The
would just have,
specific title.
well, after I graduate, I would then be an astrobiologist.
Okay, okay, get it. And my last question is like, what do you sacrifice when you are in NASA or studying in these deep projects and complicated? I think there are a lot of they take a lot of you, no, like from your emotions, from your strength, your intelligence. I mean, what is the biggest sacrifice?
Yeah, so I mean, probably the biggest like sacrifice is definitely time commitment, just because I've put a lot of time into space, whether it's traveling, speaking, training, doing all these different experiences. So definitely just time commitment in general, trying to balance that while also doing schoolwork and everything else that I have to do. So that is pretty tricky. But I've never like really sacrificed anything that I like still to this day regret very deeply. I feel like I've definitely lived both a completely normal life and also done everything towards space as well. So I definitely had a totally normal experience growing up. So I did stuff towards space, but I also was a normal kid and did loads of other things. So I definitely had a mix. But yeah, definitely time commitment is the biggest, and also has put a lot in terms of having to learn time management very early, having to learn a lot of, I guess, adult things fairly early, but it's definitely been a lot of skills that I'm happy to have.
And when you say do you travel, how frequently do you travel, and in which countries?
Yeah, well, I mean, so to this day, I've been to 26 different countries doing either training, speaking, traveling. So I did a good bit of travel, and most of that was probably, well, kind of a lot throughout a lot of time. I started, like, for example, when I was 13 was when I did a TED Talk in Greece, and then me and my dad spent a month in Europe. So we went to a lot of different places. So I've been traveling for a really long time. I mean, obviously, here lately, I haven't been doing as much traveling. I haven't been out of the country in a good while. So just kind of, oh, actually, no, I haven't. Trying to remember where all I've been. But yeah, I travel pretty frequently here and there. But yeah, it just kind of depends on what's going on. So my most recent travel, well, my most recent space travel was I went up to Connecticut here in the US, and I was doing some underwater stuff, some underwater training there. So always just depends on what's going on. So it's not really consistent.
Wow. Oh my God. It's incredible. And I was going to ask you something about the wait a minute. I forgot the question. About the space. Now that you learn a lot about the space, this is the last question. Now that you know more about the space, which one is your point of view about our Earth, our
Yeah.
Earth planet? What is your point of view about it now? After all this that you learn outside about outside.
Yeah, I think that's something super interesting because by learning about space, we learn so much more about our own planet. You know, we are constantly figuring out more, learning more. And we're also learning things that will benefit our planet. You know, one of the amazing things about space is that we develop new technologies and then we can then use those technologies back here on Earth. So there are so many things that we use every single day that was originally invented for space travel, but now we use every day. A lot of the stuff in our cell phones, a lot of just general technology. Space really just pushes us to think kind of outside the box to invent new things, but those things can totally be used down here as well. So I totally see it as everything that we're doing up in space is for Earth. So I think when looking at Earth from space, you kind of get a better appreciation of the planet. You know, it is very fragile. You know, we have a very thin atmosphere that protects us from everything in space. And so it definitely just kind of gives you a better appreciation of the planet and what it does for us.
Wow, very interesting. Very interesting, Alyssa. And my last question is, would you like to share something to the people, probably something that you used to share in your conferences, in your conference, something that would you like to add?
Yeah, no, definitely. I would love to add just really encouraging anyone, no matter what it is, to go after your dreams and your goals, no matter what they are. You know, you can be a kid trying to decide what you want to be when you grow up, or you can also be an adult with an aspiration to start a new project. It really doesn't matter what stage of life that you're in, but if you have a goal or a dream, definitely go for it. You know, there is nothing stopping you. I know that when I was younger, saying I wanted to be an astronaut and go to Mars, it wasn't really a reality at the time, but I turned it into a reality. So definitely follow your own dreams and never let anyone take them away from you.
And you really follow your dreams. I admire you for that. Congratulations. And for sure, I'm sure that we will see you in Mars soon, and we will share your story
Yeah, thank you
and
so
that
much.
you reach it.
Yes.
Okay, Alyssa, thank you very much for this. I used to say like greetings at the end of the note. I used to say like, my name is Karina Nova, and you say, my name is Alyssa Carson from, where are you now? In which part of US?
Louisiana.
In Luisiana. I am Alyssa Carson from Luisiana. Y esto es, and I say, y esto es al extremo. And we say that annex because the show is al extremo.
Okay. Y esto es al extremo.
Oh my God, you speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Great, exactly. Y esto es al extremo.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, let's try. Okay.
I am Alyssa Carson. I am from Louisiana. Y esto es al extremo.
Oh yeah, but we will do it together.
Oh, okay.
I will say, mi nombre es Karina Nova.
My name is Alyssa Carson.
Y esto es al extremo. And could you do it al extremo at the same time than me? Like, y esto es, and we both al extremo talking at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it again. 1 second, 1 second. Ready. Mi nombre es Karina Nova.
I'm Alyssa Carson.
Y esto es al extremo. Perfect. Alyssa, thank you very much for this, for your time, for this interview. Congratulations for all what you are doing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And be an example for all the young people.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Have a wonderful day and happy holidays to you and to your family.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Have a good time.
You too. Bye
Bye.
bye.